Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there, pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to come back at y'all with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. But I want to touch on some real briefly, man. As I was reading, I've been reading through that, trying to finish both of the books of Samuel, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel. And finished up 1 Samuel this morning. And just pretty much want to touch on the account that I read with King David. King David, on how he dealt with his men that followed them, man, which is what? Which is the house of David. You see, and that's those ones who the Heavenly Father is raising up today, man. But and what I want to touch on is that it's pretty much the same thing that Yahawashi said. The way King David treated his servants, on how he paid them, I guess for lack of better terms, is the same way Yahawashi is the same thing Yahawashi told his servants, man. Everybody get that equal pay. Everybody get that equal pay, right? No matter how much you did, how long you was doing it for. If you within the body, you gonna get paid like the body, man. Just like Yahawashi said, each man go get that 1 penny, right? Well, King David pretty much reiterated the same thing. And I'm gonna get into the scriptures. I'm gonna get that account. But I want to get this in Matthew 20 first, right? I want to get on what Yahawashi said first, right? Dealing with the laborers, right? Which is the men who the Lord have called to go out on the highways and hedges, to preach the word, prophesy, so on and so forth. We was promised what? Salvation if we do the work, And everybody gonna get that same salvation, no matter, again, how long, a person may have been doing it, or if a man do more works. When Yahawashi come back, each man, woman of the elect gonna get beamed up. And ain't nobody gonna have a different spectacular, you feel me, ascension just different from everybody else, No, everybody gonna get scarcely saved, man. Everybody gonna get the new bodies. Everybody of the elect, you gonna enjoy the gift that Yahawashi gonna bring, man. You see, but let me hop straight into it. I don't want to do too much rambling. This Matthew 20, and Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. Matthew 20 and 1. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, and his man is Yahawashi. It says, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard." And those laborers going into those prophets, man, doing the work, right? Laborers work, right? So as we doing the Lord's work, right, we are those laborers. It says, and when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. Look, I'm gonna give you a penny after you work, and they agreed to it. Nothing more, nothing less. This is what I said I'm gonna give you. Keep that in mind. So it says, and he went out about the 3rd hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. Jake, in the world, just like we was in the world with our lives, idle, wasn't doing nothing. And we was called to come do the work, just like these right here are being called. And it says, and he went out about the 3rd hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. And again, he went about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, and did likewise. You see, as the day goes on, he's gathering more laborers, right? So the one who he been told to, go up and down, he been working. You see, the other one, the 3rd hour, he been working. So the 6th and the 9th hour, they just got hired on. They new beginners while the other one's working, right? So it says, and again he went out about the 6th and the 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all this day? Why stand ye here all the day idle? And they said unto him, because no man have hired us. And he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, from the beginning, from the last until the first. So Yahawashi said, hey, look, go call my workers, go call my employees, my servants. It's time for me to give them their check. You know, it's payday today. You know, tell them, come on, go get the new worker, and then the last one go be the old cat who been working, right? So it says, and when they that came that were hired about the 11th hour, so the new workers, right, the beginners, it says they received every man a penny. So they got that hire that they was working for. Just like us today, we know what we working for. We know why we put in this work, to ultimately be saved, man. That's the first and foremost thing, to be saved, protected through Jacob's trouble, everything we about to go through. And ultimately, when Yahawashi come, be saved from those missiles, man, and the fire from the chariots, man. And everything else after that go come with salvation, new bodies, right? Everlasting life, you know, so on and so forth. But we working for this penny, man, to get rewarded by the Lord. But let's continue. It says, I'm going to read verse 9 again. It says, and when they came thither, right, and they that were hired about the 11th hour came, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, so the worker who been hired on, who been at the job, right, who was there before the third hour got hired, who was there before the 6th and 9th hour got hired, who was there before the 11th hour got hired, he been working, right? So it says, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more. And they likewise receive every man a penny. So they like, damn, I put in more work. I was here longer. You know, they don't know much about the job like I know it. Why I'm getting hired, getting paid the same thing they getting paid. They just came a couple hours ago and getting a penny. I've been here, I'm just getting a penny just like them. Right? So it says, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house. Now they mad, right? It says, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us. They only been working a little bit. He don't even know the ins and outs, and he got paid the same thing I did. Right? It says, have made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. Man, we've been blood, sweat, and tears out here. We should get more. But it says, but he, talking about Yahawashi, but he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Look, Yahawashi told him, look, I ain't do nothing wrong. Before you started this job, I agreed that you was going to get paid a penny. Well, look, I'm paying you that penny. What you crying for? Right? But the point is, it says, take that thine is, and go thy way. This is the point. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Everybody getting the same penny. At the end of the day, look, I understand you've been doing it longer, but we all a body. I understand you've been working harder. We all the same company. We all got the same motive at hand, the end game, man. We all on the same page, you know? So I'm going to pay him just like I'm paying you. Different parts of the body, right? Yahawashi said that. Same body, same business, different offices. Just like a football team, you're going to have people who rookies, right? Free agents, Pro Bowl players, veterans. But when the championship come, everybody get a ring. Don't matter if you a veteran. You getting the same ring. You ain't getting a whole different customized ring. You getting the same one. Well, that's the same thing Yahawashi said. If you of his sheep, everybody gonna be delivered, man. And the same, nobody, you feel me? Nobody gonna be like Elder Ariala. He be saying it ain't gonna be, as far as him speaking on the prophets. But he was saying it ain't gonna be 100 and what did he be saying? Oh, it ain't gonna be 143,999 right brothers, on the same page, and then just your special ass. No, everybody gonna get rewarded the same thing, man. Then once we get in the kingdom, then we can, then Yahawashi can set that order, man. As it says, he gave men rulership over different cities, over 5 cities, 10 cities, so on and so forth. You see? But now that's the point in that. But let me get this, because as I said earlier, I'm in that 1st and 2nd Samuel, and I was finishing 1st Samuel today, and in chapter 30, which is in that 1st Samuel is only 31, not only, but it's 31 chapters, and it's in chapter 30 that I want to touch on. And as I read this chapter, right, some King David said towards the end to his servants, it reminded me of what we just read about Yahawashi. And that's something right there too, because Yahawashi gonna be the top king and the number 1 king in the kingdom, and it's gonna be number 2 is King David. But to show you right there, even in 2 time periods, our kings is on the same page, man. 2 whole different time periods, and our kings is on the same page with their mindset. Everybody getting the same. Let's read it, man. I'm getting excited. Let's read it. This is 1 Samuel 30 and 1. It says, and it ain't nothing, major or nothing deep. It just, I feel, it would be good to edify on. But like I said, reading this reminded me of what Yahawashi said, man. But, and I ain't gonna read the whole chapter. I'm gonna just, Lord willing, try to get the important parts. But it's 1 Samuel 30 and 1. It said, and it came to pass when David and his men, right, the house of David, the ones who followed him, even in his afflictions, 1 Samuel 22 and 1, those ones who was in debt, distress, that was the ones who followed David. Just like the house of David today is going to be the offscoring of the world, going to be looked down upon, so on and so forth. But let's continue. It says, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag. You see? Now, if you go into it, Israel and the Philistines was about to go to war. Now, at this point in time, King David, he was with he fled into the land of the Philistines, and he went to the king of the Philistines, which was at the time Achish, right? Achish, and because he was fleeing from King Saul. So he was among the Philistines, and the Philistines was about to go to war with Israel. Right, so the Philistine princes said, hold on, talking to their king. They said, man, this is David. They're like, man, leave him here, him and his men. Because once we go to war with the Israelites, he might turn on us and start fighting with the Israelites against us. So they sent David and his men home, right? Now, this is, well, not home, but going to Ziklag, because they was encamped in the Philistines province. But on their way back to Ziklag, where they was, they had realized that let's read it. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites, which is the head tribe of the Edomites, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burnt it with fire. And burnt it with fire. So it says, and had taken, so this was all they took. As the men was going to war, the women, children was stayed back. So this is what all the Edomites took. It says, and had taken the women captives, and that were therein, and they slew not any, neither great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burnt with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no power to weep. And David's 2 wives were taken captives. The first wife is Ahinoam, the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal, the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed for the people. It says, and David was greatly distressed for the people spake of stoning him. So they wanted to kill King David. You see? They was mad. They wanted to take it out on King David, man. It says, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in Yahweh his power. Man, it says, and David said to Abiathar, the priest, Amalek's son, Salakia. And David said to Abiathar, the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David. And David inquired at the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So David went, he and the 600 men that were with him. So he had 600 men with him. It says, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind. It says, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. Now, this is something to remember for the point we gonna hit. So it said it was King David and 600 men he had, right? So it says once they got to the brook Besor, only 400 out of the 600 followed King David, but 200 stayed because they was so tired, right? 200 of them stayed. Only 400 went with him. So remember that. So as they going, they found an Egyptian in the field who he ain't eaten 3 days and 3 nights. He was just there. Now watch what he say. I'm gonna jump down. It says 13. And David said unto him, to whom belongest thou? And whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Egypt, a servant to an Amalekite. First clue. You see how the Lord be working? See how the Most High be working? Because look, King David and them ain't know exactly who came and raided Ziklag. Man, it took all they spoil. They didn't know. But just so happened as they going, right, trying to see if they could spot, they women, wives, whatever, if they could spot some evidence on where they may be. As they walking in the field, they found this Egyptian out of nowhere, right? Who just happened to be a servant for one of the Amalekites who invaded King David and them stuff, man. You see how the Lord be setting stuff up, And it says, it says 13. And David said unto him, to whom belongest thou, and whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Egypt, a servant to an Amalekite, and my master left me because 3 days ago I fell sick. That sound like Esau. Like it's saying, what is Sirach 13? If you have a prophet, he gonna use you. But if you ain't got nothing from him, he gonna just let you go. Right? But continuing on, it says, and we made it, and he about to tell King David on what they did. He said, we made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burnt Ziklag with fire. You see? That's what King David was. And said, and we burnt Ziklag with fire. And David said to him, canst thou bring me down to this company? So King David was like, shit, where they at? Right? Because now he know, okay, so y'all, okay, you know exactly who did it. Take me to where they at. And it says, and he said, swear unto me by the Most High that thou wilt neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because all the great spoil that they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah. Talking about them Philistines, they living it up. Right? But it says this. And David, so King David came on the scene, found them out. It said, and David smote them from the twilight, which is either sundown or sunrise, either or. Right? But as you go into it, this was sunset. So it says, and David smote them from twilight even unto the evening of the next day, a whole day. It says, And check this out. And there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. And David rescued his 2 wives. We getting to the point. And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all. So they got everything that was taken from them. They got it back. And it says, and David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before of the cattle and said, this is David's spoil. So they're like, this David stuff right here, man. On the cattle and stuff. King David got this. We're going to get everything else though. But watch this. This is the point. And David, so after the fact, it says, and David came to the 200 men. So they're going back to the brook Besar, right? While they left the 200 men there who was tired, right? So it says, and David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besar. And they went forth to meet David and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them. Shalom, shalom, Maki. You know, shalom, you know. And watch what the people, the men that was with King David, watch what they had to say about the ones who stayed back. All right, verse 22, next verse. Then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial. So you had niggas, men, it says, and men of Satan, in other words, amongst King David. Shit. Well, you gonna have spies today amongst the house of David, right? In different camps. You gonna have these things, man. Hey, Yahawashi he had Judas in his camp. You see? But watch what these niggas say though. Well, I'm gonna say it as the scriptures say, right? It says the wicked men. It says, then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial, of those that went with David, and said, because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil. So the ones who went with David was like, man, fuck that. We ain't giving them none of this. They ain't go with us. They stayed back here. They ain't get nothing. We taking all of it, right? It said, I'm going to read it again. And said, because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Man, we ain't giving them nothing. They ain't come with us. Well, they ain't getting nothing that we got. Just give them their wives and their children and tell them get out of here. They ain't getting none of this. Watch what King David said again. Again, don't they sound like that man who was hot at the first hour? Man, I've been working here. Right? I've been working here. Blood, sweat, and tears in the heat of the day. Been doing this. Why I'm just getting 1 penny? Why I gotta share what I got with them? Right? Why I've been working and they just came out here. Matter of fact, they ain't even doing nothing. He been sitting there the whole time. And why he gotta get paid the same thing I'm getting paid, right? That's the same thing they saying right here. But again, what Yahawashi said, look, I'm giving each man what I want. You feel me? I agree to this with this penny. Well, what King David about to say the same thing. Nah, it's gonna be fairness around here, right? We about it, right? It says, right. It says, because they were not with us, and we will not give them aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Here it is. Then said David, ye shall not do so, my brethren. Right? Ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which Yahweh have given us. The Lord gave us to us. You see, we ain't get this on our own. The Lord had led us up and he gave us to us. How you going to say what we going to do with it? Right? You going to ask. Everybody laid they money, right? They resources at the apostles' feet. You see? Everybody was all in. Look what happened to the ones who wasn't all in. Ananias and Sapphira. Right? They lied about money they kept back and the Lord killed them. It's supposed to be all in. But let's get it again. It says, then David said, ye shall not do so, my brethren, with that which Yahweh have given us, and who have preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? This the point. But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. Let's read that again. So King David saying, but as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so just as much spoil you taking, right? For the ones of y'all who came with me, who went down to the battle, just as much as y'all got from this, it says, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. Same thing the brothers gonna get who stayed behind, man. They gonna get the same thing. Although y'all was with me fighting, killing, swinging the swords, they was back here with the stuff. They was watching our stuff. The rest of whatever the little stuff we have, they was working too. You feel me? Don't matter which office you had. The same thing in the truth. You may have brothers when it come down to camp days. The primary brother always speaking. But you gonna have brothers who majority of the time on a camera, never being seen. But guess what? Still doing the same work. You got brothers who do lessons all day, every day, going into deep, dark secrets and parables, mysteries. But you have brothers who lucky they get in a lesson every other day or every day. And when they do, it's just the milk. But guess what? Both of them go get the same reward. You see? Come on, man. That's the same thing we doing today. Brothers got different offices. Brothers got different talents, different levels of faith, different levels of wisdom, you know? But guess what? Once Yahawashi come back, the whole house of David gonna get that same salvation though, man. You may be just a help. You might not be on the highways and hedges. You may be a help, right? Sending tithes to the apostles, sisters making garments for brothers. Guess what? You're going to get that same salvation. Then it say a cup of water. You give a cup of water to a prophet in the name of a prophet, and ye shall receive a prophet's reward. But hold on, the one who gave a cup of water, they went out there doing the work. The one who gave a cup of water, they wasn't out there. In other words, right here in King David times, they would have been the ones left behind, man. But still rewarded. Let's read it again. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look in the Bible Hub real quick, see if they got another translation, see if they said it a little clearer. So this is the NLV or NIV. It says, who will listen to what you say? The share of the man who stayed with the supplies is to be the same as that of him who went down to the battle. All will share alike. Split it up evenly, man. Right? NLT says, who will listen to you when you talk like this? We share and share alike. Those who go to the battle and those who guard the equipment. Right? It says, the Berean Study Bible, it says, the share of the one who went to the battle will match the share of the one who stayed with the supplies, man. That is, each of us, we getting that same penny. Just like the house of David, the same penny, man. Right? Let's read it again. It says, I read that part. For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. And it was so from that day forward that he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel unto this day. Unto, like Deontay Wilder, man, unto this day. So it don't shock me that Yahawashi backdoored and said the same thing. Everybody getting the same penny, man. Right? Start with the prophets, then the believers, and then eventually all Israel gonna get that reward. Hey, well, let's keep reading. I'll read to the end of the chapter, because after the ones who went got their reward, which the 400 who went, we could say that's symbolic to the prophets, right? You know, who will get rewarded first, who actually doing the work. Now, the ones who was, the 200 who was sitting back, you can liken that unto the unbelievers. They don't have to go out and do the work. You know, niggas, sit, listen to the lessons. That's likened unto the ones who stayed. But as we about to read on, King David about to send gifts to some people in Israel. And that's likened unto the 2/3 who gonna come back. Eventually, all Israel gonna get that penny, which is the kingdom, man. The kingdom, man. Let's read it. It says, and when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil unto the elders of Judah, even to his friends, saying, behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemies of Yahweh. He about to turn it, about to be like Oprah. You get a call. You get a call. You get a call. You get a call. It says, to them which were in Bethel, and to them which were in South Ramoth, and to them which were in Jatir, and to them which were in Aurora, and to them which were in Simoth, and to them which were in Timor, and to them which were in Rakal, and to them which were in the cities of the Jeramelites, and to them which were in the cities of the Kenites, and to them which were in Hormah, and to them which were in Korashan, and to them which were in Athak, and to them which were in Hebron, and all the places where David himself and his men were wont to hunt, man. So everywhere they went, they gave everybody gifts of that spoil. So just like Israel, after the elect, all Israel get blessed with that spoil, man. With the kingdom, in other words, you see. But that's pretty much it, man. I went way longer than I wanted to, and I intended on this being a little 10-minute lesson, but you know, it's all good. Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm gonna end it off with this. This is 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 2:10. It says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain a salvation which is in Mashiach Yahawashi with eternal glory, man. So we ain't just doing this for our sake, just to get us a portion, right? Just to get us a part of the spoil, just to get our own penny. But it says right here, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake. We working for the body, man. And although the scriptures do say work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? First and foremost, but we can't forget, look, we all in this together, man. It is a body at the end of the day, you know. Although we do work on our own salvation with fear and trembling, you know, don't get that twisted. It says that they may also obtain a salvation which is in Mashiach Yahawashi with eternal glory, so that they may also get that penny, get that payoff, man. But, you know, with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rachak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to all you out there pushing his word with all truth and sincerity. And to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel, hey, keep fighting, keep pushing. Hey, and with that, shalom.